In this video, we are going to talk about something very close to the heart, words and behaviors that no parent should ever have to hear from their adult children. These are the kinds of things that can leave you lying awake at night, replaying conversations, wondering how the love you gave so freely turned into coldness or silence. I know this is not easy, but sometimes it's necessary to face the truth so that you can protect your peace, your dignity, and your health. What we will discuss today are the red flags, phrases that go beyond normal disagreements and instead chip away at your spirit. You gave your children your best years, your sleepless nights, your sacrifices, and your love. You taught them values and carried them through struggles. At this stage of life, you deserve respect and tenderness, not blame or manipulation. Remember, choosing peace for yourself is not selfish. It's survival. I want you to stay with me until the end, because this conversation may remind you that you are not walking this path alone. Many parents across America are carrying the same hidden pain. And before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Share your state in the comments so we can see how many families across the country are connected through this same experience. Red flag number 1. You were a bad parent. Let's talk about this first red flag, the painful words, "you were a bad parent." For many parents, especially later in life, hearing this feels like a knife to the heart, because deep down you know how much love, energy, and sacrifice you gave. Of course, no parent is perfect. Maybe you worked long hours, maybe you missed some moments, or maybe you simply did the best you could with what you knew. But raising children was never about perfection. It was about love, care, and showing up every single day. When an adult child says this once in the heat of anger, it's hurtful. But when they repeat it over and over, it crosses a line. It stops being about honest discussion and becomes emotional punishment. It's a way to control you, to make you feel guilty, and to excuse their own behavior. That is not love. It's manipulation. Your entire life and worth cannot be measured by a few mistakes. Real love tries to rebuild, not tear down. So, if your child uses these words to shame you, remind yourself of this truth. Their words do not erase your sacrifices. You gave your best, and that matters. Red flag number 2. You're a burden. Let's talk about another red flag that no parent should ever have to hear. The words, "you're a burden." These words cut deeply because they dismiss a lifetime of sacrifice. Think about it. You were the one who stayed up at night when they were sick, who worked extra hours to pay for their needs, who gave up dreams so they could chase theirs. To be told now, after everything, that you are somehow too much or in the way is heartbreaking. Sadly, many older adults in the U.S. are made to feel this way. Sometimes it's said directly, other times it's shown through impatience, sighs, or being treated like an inconvenience. But let me be clear, you're not a burden. You are a blessing. Your wisdom, your life experiences, your presence, these are gifts, not weights. When children use words like this, they reveal more about their own lack of gratitude than about your worth. Respect goes both ways. You gave them the foundation for the life they have today. The least they owe you is kindness. And if someone constantly makes you feel like you're too much, it's okay to step back. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Red flag number 3. I'm too busy for you. Few things hurt more than hearing your own child say they're too busy for you. Of course, everyone has jobs, families, and responsibilities. Life can get hectic, but love always finds a way. A quick phone call, a short visit, even a simple message. These are not luxuries, they are basic signs of care and respect. When your child repeatedly says they are too busy, yet you see them spending hours with friends, posting vacations online, or relaxing with entertainment, What they're really saying is, "You're not a priority." That realization can feel like abandonment, not because you are needy, but because you are human. Every parent wants to feel they still matter in the lives of the children they raised. This slow withdrawal, calls that stop coming, visits that keep getting postponed, birthdays forgotten, chips away at your spirit. It teaches you to accept silence when what you deserve is connection. You are not asking for much, just for acknowledgement and love. And if someone constantly makes you feel like you're too much, it's okay to step back. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Red flag number 4. You owe me. Hearing your adult child say, "You owe me," can be shocking, even painful. As a parent, you know the truth. You brought your children into this world out of love, not because of a debt you needed to repay. You fed them, clothed them, stayed awake when they were sick, and sacrificed your own needs so theirs could be met. That is not something you owe. It is what parents naturally give from the heart. But when children grow up with a sense of entitlement, they may begin to treat you like you're responsible for their every problem. They may expect money, constant favors, or your time without ever showing gratitude. They might even use guilt as a tool, reminding you of what they've done for you, or pressuring you into saying yes when your heart says no. This is not love, this is exploitation. You are not an ATM. You are not here to erase their struggles by carrying every burden for them. Real family relationships are built on respect and appreciation, not demands. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you love yourself enough to say, "I gave what I could, and that was already more than enough." Red flag number 5. You're too old to understand. Being brushed aside with the words, "You're too old to understand," is deeply disrespectful. Age does not erase wisdom, it adds to it. You have lived through decades of challenges that your children may never fully comprehend. You raised a family without today's conveniences, survived hardships, and learned lessons that only life experience can teach. To have all of that dismissed with a single phrase is painful. When a child says this, they are not only rejecting your opinion, they are rejecting your value. It's as if your voice no longer matters. But the truth is, your perspective is more valuable now than ever. It carries the strength of resilience, the patience of years, and the depth of experience. What many older parents truly want is not control, but connection, to be heard, to be respected, and to feel they still matter. If your child rolls their eyes when you speak, interrupts you, or talks down to you, it is not because you are out of touch. It is because they're forgetting the foundation you gave them. Respect is not optional. It is the bare minimum, and you have every right to expect it at any age. Red flag number 6. Why do you always make everything about you? This phrase may sound small, but it carries a heavy weight. Imagine opening your heart, sharing that you felt hurt or lonely, only to be told you're making it about yourself. That's not just dismissive, it's a way of silencing you. It shifts the focus from their behavior to your feelings, making you seem like the problem for even speaking up. This is called emotional deflection. Instead of taking responsibility, your child avoids it by putting guilt back on you. But here's the truth, your feelings matter too. Just because you are a parent doesn't mean you stop being a person. You have the right to say, "That hurt me," or "I wish you had remembered." A healthy relationship should welcome honest dialogue, not shut it down. When this pattern repeats, it teaches you to stay quiet, and silence can slowly erode love. Real love listens. Real love makes space for both sides. If your child consistently makes you feel guilty for expressing your emotions, that's not respect, it's gaslighting. You are not wrong for wanting to be heard. You deserve compassion, not blame. Red flag number 7. You're lucky I still talk to you. This is one of the most manipulative things a child can say to a parent. When someone tells you that you should feel lucky they still speak to you, it turns love into a transaction. It makes conversation feel like a privilege you have to earn rather than a natural bond between family. That's not respect, it's control. Parents should never be made to feel that they are walking on eggshells just to keep a connection alive. After all the years you spent giving, supporting, and protecting, your child should not treat their presence as a weapon to keep you in line. Love is not a bargaining chip, and it should never come with conditions. The reality is, they are the ones who are lucky to still have a parent who wants to talk at all. Many people would give anything for one more phone call with a parent they've lost. If your child uses their time or communication as leverage to make you feel small, remember this: you don't have to beg for love. Real family bonds are rooted in care and respect, not threats or ultimatums. Red flag number 8. I don't need you anymore. Hearing or feeling this message, whether said directly or shown through coldness, cuts deeply. It's not always spoken out loud. Sometimes it comes in the form of unanswered calls, canceled visits, or forgotten birthdays. Slowly, you begin to feel like you're being pushed aside, as if your presence no longer has meaning. But the truth is, every parent wants to feel that they still matter. You carried them through childhood, gave them stability, and offered love when they had nothing else. To be treated as if you are no longer needed is not just disrespectful, it's emotional abandonment. And abandonment wounds the spirit. The reality is, maybe they don't need you in the same way they once did as children, but that doesn't mean you stop having value. You still matter, not as someone to use, but as a person with wisdom, love, and dignity. If your child only reaches out when they want something, then disappears, that's not a relationship. That's convenience. And you were never meant to be anyone's convenience. Protect your heart by remembering this. Whether they admit it or not, your worth has never depended on their approval. You matter simply because you are you. Red flag number 9. I wish you weren't my parent. This is perhaps the most heartbreaking sentence a mother or father could ever hear. Whether it's shouted in anger or spoken coldly to cause pain, the impact is the same. It cuts right through the years of love, sacrifice, and devotion you poured into raising your child. After all the nights you stayed awake worrying, the meals you prepared, the dreams you put aside for their sake, to hear these words can feel like being told none of it mattered. But it did matter. Every sacrifice, every moment of care, every act of love shaped the person they became. Words like this are not just cruel, they are abusive. And no parent, no matter what mistakes were made along the way, deserves to carry that kind of cruelty. It's important to remember, you are not obligated to accept abuse simply because it comes from your child. Love and respect must exist on both sides. Walking away from such words isn't about revenge, it's about survival, about protecting your heart and your peace in the years that truly belong to you. You deserve relationships that honor your presence, not ones that try to erase your worth. After going through all these red flags, one thing stands out. You do not have to carry the weight of disrespect, even if it comes from your own children. You gave them love, stability, and countless sacrifices, and those acts of devotion cannot be erased by a few cruel words. They mattered then, and they still matter now. At this stage of life, your well-being comes first. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is an act of strength. If someone, even your own child, constantly hurts you, you are allowed to step back. Setting boundaries does not mean you love them less. It means you love yourself enough to stop allowing pain to take over your days. These years are precious, and they belong to you. Fill them with people who respect you, who value your presence, and who make you feel safe and appreciated. Remember, you are not here to be tolerated. You're here to be treasured. And if this message touched your heart today, let me know in the comments. Your story might give strength to another parent who needs to hear they are not alone. And don't forget to subscribe for more conversations that honor your dignity, wisdom, and worth.